Hello everybody and welcome to Fallon's Kitchen. I'm helping her out today by creating one of my favorite recipes, which is Duncan Hines Classic Yellow Cake. Now, today on Fallon's Kitchen, we like to do things a little bit different and a little bit special. So not only are we making this cake, but we're making it in the shape of Dora the Explorer. Now, I found this at my local Goodwill store for about $2 and I just had to get it. I wanted to try it out. I took it home and scrubbed it. You don't know what kind of meth lab this could have been in. And it is as clean as it'll ever be. And speaking of which, I should probably wash my hands in a second.
We should, yes.
And anyways, I can't wait to get Dora baked up. So we have classic yellow cake, the Duncan Hines, which only requires a cup of water, vegetable oil, and eggs, which we have gone ahead and put in the fridge.
We'll show you.
Yes, if you don't mind.
Please show us. They are grade A, large white eggs.
Now we have 6, but the recipe only calls for 3, so we could make 2.
Say 2.
Now, one thing to go along with this Dora cake to make it more interesting is we have bought 3 kinds of Pillsbury icing. We have chocolate fudge. For anything where Dora would require any brown or black, such as her hair, the inside of her mouth, maybe the pupils of her eyes. We also have 2 classic, one's actually white and one's vanilla. So we didn't get 2 of the same, but
we like variety.
We like variety. Yeah, we intended to get 2 of the same. But anyways, it doesn't matter.
It's all white.
Because we have gel, great value gel food colors, in which we have an orange, a pink, a purple, and a green, which are going to color Dora very nicely. So that is our special treat with this thing, is that we're gonna bake the cake like normal. The cake's not what's gonna be exceptional, it's the decorating. It's really gonna take this mold to the moon. Stay tuned.
That's great, guys. Good job.
As you can see, we are now preheating the oven at 350 degrees.
So we've just added the cake mix here. So we still have the 1 cup of water and the 1/3 cup of vegetable oil and the 3 eggs left. And we are, praying that this will be a big enough mixing bowl. And of course, this specifically calls for a mixing container. Should I act like a book in another camera?
If you will.
So this one actually calls for a mixing wand thing, but of course we don't have that. So we're just gonna do our best with a whisk. Back in there.
Yeah, probably not the best idea. Now, as you can see, we have mixed in 3 eggs, vegetable oil, and water into our cake mix. And now it's time for the hard part, whisking. Now, this recipe calls for an electronic mixer, but unfortunately all we have is a whisk. So we're gonna try and get through it. This requires a little bit of elbow grease. So don't be afraid to really beat the batter.
Next, we're gonna spray down Dora. Now, this is arguably the most erotic part of the recipe, so make sure you treat her with care like a real lady should be.
That's greasy.
Well, hi, would you like one? So we have a bonus recipe for you today. We are cooking up some dirty Shirleys along with our Dora cake. Now this is so easy and it's summer in a pinch. So you put your vodka in first to taste, and then just plain old Sprite you get at the grocery store, and then grenadine, which is just cherry syrup. Now we have a special endorsement from Bonnie Wilson from Dallas, Texas. Thank you for watching, Bonnie. So you just add a little bit to both, and then you get a straw so we can stir it up. And then you do this to taste too. So if you just want like a spritz of cherry, then you don't need to do too much more. But I like a little bit more. And you just stir it in, and voila. So once you get your consistency down to something you like, it should be about like this. It's about as good as you can do with a hand mixer. You just are gonna pour it in as evenly as you can across your pan. And once you get it all in there, you can help even it out a little bit more.
Once you have your batter perfectly aligned in your pan, you must bake immediately as the box warns. So here we go. We're going to open the oven, which has been preheated and is now preheated. We're going to put it on the center rack, and we're going to leave it there. Close the oven door, of course. And we're going to let it bake for around 30 minutes. And now we wait. Well, it's official. The timers have gone off. The cake is finished. So now we're going to fetch the cake out of the oven. I've got the trusty oven mitt. Do not try this with your own bare hands. Just kind of slide that baby out, split down the middle. I think that means it's good. What do you think?
So we've got Dora cooling here, and while she's doing that, we're gonna move on to our icing affairs, which is the most fun part. So as we said earlier, we've got 2 whites and the chocolate fudge. The chocolate fudge needs no work from us. We're gonna put her aside for right now. So what we've got to do now is delegate like how much of each color we need. So the brown is her hair, obviously. So we're gonna have the pink for her shirt, which is a large part of this operation, and the orange as her pants. So we know we'll need the most of those 2. So now we've got this purple and green. What we've decided is the small bits of yellow, her bracelet, her socks, are going to be replaced by green for these purposes. We think it'll be all right. And then of course for her, the white of her shoes, we just have the plain white icing. Not sure if we'll be needing the purple yet, but stay tuned. We are here live.
And voila! And voila! That's how you get it. Look how clean she came off.
Beautiful.
Alright, let me put the hand down. I'm gonna ease my arm out of it. Wow. Now that's actually beautiful.
It's so beautiful. One more time. Oh God. Okay, go.
After about 2 hours of delegating, baking, measuring, icing, what else did we do? Designing, thinking, talking, and most of all, fun. We have completed we're gonna stop it right here. This is our Dora Cake. This operation began when I found a Dora Cake pan at Goodwill for $2 and could not pass it up. And we decided we're gonna bake a cake tonight.
And it just really came together after that. You know, when we were buying the supplies, we never imagined that it would get to this, and we just could not.
It really looks great, doesn't it?
We just can't be. We could not be any happier.
I really did not think it was gonna turn out this good.
And another part of this challenge that we didn't really plan from the start is we decided we were not going to look at any pictures of Dora.
We have not seen it. We were just going from memory what we think she looked like and what color she used. So this may not be right, and tell us if it is. But we did our best to figure out what we thought Dora looked like, and we did backpack straps.
Mm-hmm. That was added. That wasn't on the pan.
That's true. We gave her hair a texture. Mm-hmm. She has very nice hair texture. We did an outline.
With the belly button.
The belly button. That's
that really
important.
pulls it together.
We actually had a little bit of trouble on the shorts.
That's true.
Yeah.
We really could not. It took a while to pull the shorts together.
Because you have to have a clean line against
of
the
course,
belly,
yes.
and it was always too low.
The midriff, as you can see, is still a little messy, but you know, we did what we could. And now, Jackson, I want you to talk about your craftsman trick here on the shorts.
If you notice with the shorts, there's a divot in the pan where the shorts separate. Well, it didn't come out when we were icing it, so I just took a knife and slid right out. And she has 2 legs now cut into the shorts.
So that really saves you a lot of time as they're trying to, ice specifically
and
to
have it thinner in the crack. So I mean, I just did that, and it looks all right. Doesn't look great, but like
I love it. I think it's sensational.
Why don't we share what I think was arguably the strongest? What do you think was the strongest idea that we had during this? I'll tell you what I think it is. What what idea made this project easy for us was when we started doing the piping bags.
Oh, for sure. I would say that too.
You would too?
Yeah, I think that really elevated, because think about, we've never gotten that texture on the hair or the detail of the outline.
Yeah, we can, or even in the shoes. The shoes are, the backpack was a piping bag.
There was controversy about the shoes. You thought this was my original hole.
The shoes were a little heavy.
He said my original hole was too big.
There was a lot of white on it.
And then we added this little flower charm. That was just
yeah.
So it was a real battle deciding what's the best tool, like a bag, my fingers, a knife, the spoon.
We did use the fingers a couple times.
You just have to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The knives never worked right, and the spoons sure as hell didn't work. Don't even get me started.
Right.
I used this. We actually made way too much icing too.
We didn't even open the second tub of ice.
I know, but
if that gives you any perspective.
And we only used a slap of orange. We didn't even orange.
We can make another project now with these colors because we have a good bit left of everything.
Oh, sorry, I dropped it. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, excuse me.
We're good.
Well, I don't know what other colors.
Can you talk about the moment when you took Dora out of the oven? Can you share that?
There are some things in life that go incredibly smoother than you deserve them to go. And it feels amazing when the universe is looking out for you. And what happened was, this was even off camera, it was like a ghost pulled us so we had Dora in the pan and it was hot. Let me tell you, it was so hot when it came out of the oven. So we let it cool for about 10 minutes and we were just gonna flip it out and let it cool. We were like, let's let it cool in the pan. Let's see how that works. And then we were like, well, when should we take it out? I said, okay, here's an idea. I'm going to take it out of the pan. So we let it cool for about 10 minutes, and we were just going to flip it out and let it cool. We were like, let's let it cool in the pan. Let's see how that works. And then we were like, well, when should we take it out? I said, okay, here's an idea. I'm going to take it out of the pan when I feel when it's not hot, it's cool enough that I can touch the pan. Because when I can put my hand on the pan and it would be so much easier than having to get a knife and flip it out. So once the pan got to a level of heat that my hands could withstand, I just flipped it over. It was right here in front of the sink. And why don't you go from here?
It was just, so we thought that it was magical when we took her out of the oven and we saw the nice split down the middle like a fresh baked, loaf of bread. And we thought that it was magical when...
Keep talking. Keep going.
We thought that it was special when we watched it kind of cool.
She does have a backpack.
What do you mean she has a backpack? There's a bomb right
there. We didn't color purple for her backpack. Look at the pan.
Well, look you be. Well, that's fine. We can just add it. We got the purple
bag. Would you like to do the honors?
Would you?
Sure.
I got the camera.
So, here's the baggie. All right. Just squeeze it out, and you can cover up that brown, because we can just go around the outside with the brown again.
Okay.
So just be sure not to get the corners of the bag and any other icing.
Okay. This makes me very nervous. This is your baby. I'm an outside party. How's that?
I think that is
I
perfect.
think that looks great.
I think
I
that's
really do
perfect.
think that looks great.
A little bit. You can get a little bit closer to it right here. I love it.
Okay, I don't want to touch it anymore.
So that was live right here. You got to see that authentic correction that we made, you know, and I think
I was over here looking and I was like, there is a bump in that thing that is not painted. That has to be something.
oh, good eye.
Thank you.
Alrighty, as we were. So we thought, you know, the split down the middle was glorious. We thought watching it peel away
The
from
other
the
side of
sides
this cake is so pretty.
is so pretty. Too bad no one will literally ever see it now. But anyway, we thought all of those moments were magical, but the anticipation of having to dump the cake out and knowing that like you can't go back from there.
And we wanted to see if it turned out like it looked it would. Because like we were like, is this going to turn out as good as we think it is?
Or I was thinking like, what if it crumbles? You know, like how are we going to put it back together?
And we had buttered the pan like there was no more pan left. Like we just sprayed it like
Frantic.
it was greasy. The pan was greasy.
You sprayed Dora good.
We did spray her real good.
We did. So, but anyway.
You said it was arguably the most
Erotic
part.
moment.
It was,
Yes.
for sure. Until we got the dumping out part. The dumping out part was just an emotional release throughout the room.
It like as soon as it flipped out, birds flew out as well.
Oh, it was
Streamers, like rays.
It was beautiful.
And it
like,
was so golden, it hurt my eyes.
the
to
light
look
of
at.
this apartment could not have
We
created
turned
the
that
light that happened.
We turned that light up there, and it reflected off the cake so beautifully that my
And
eyes
she had
had
this
burned.
bounce
I
to
see
her.
spots everywhere now.
It was
after
just,
looking at
it
this.
was just
beautiful.
so
And
breathtaking.
then, because we had been excited to decorate, and as soon as we saw that, we said, "Let's decorate. How are we gonna set this camera up for a time lapse?"
Oh yeah, let's talk about that some.
We're pissing her off.
It's just I have been recording for 8 minutes now.
All right.
It's great though.
Oh, let's
It's
do
a
it.
great cake.
Let's just set it up on a chair.
So we can keep talking. If you were to hit me that plant,
All I see is a roll of toilet paper.
well, now we can't see you. It's just pointing at me. You know what? Is the solution to this? Oh no, you can't flip it around while you're filming. Okay. It's in the Snapchat. Think we can see you in that? You know what? Just be safe. We'll turn it a little bit more. All right. So.
The time lapse chair.
Yes, the time lapse.
So we got one of the chairs from the table, and how many books would you say?
Probably
8
6
really
to
big,
8,
yeah,
sure.
really big books. And we just stacked them on top of each other, and then we put the chair on the counter and stacked the books up in the chair. And then we took the phone and put it on the edge of the books and used the other book to balance it. And we just filmed the time lapse down, so that's how we got that.
So when you see that footage, that's behind
that's
the
how
scenes.
that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? What I realized throughout this process is that it is never wrong to embrace ambition. We did something today that was fun, and we all took a chance in the process of making this cake.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what summer is about. Summer is not here for us much longer. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
The idea of summer is about to kind of slip through the cracks. Sooner or later, we're going to be wearing polyester in the summer.
What?
We're going to get like regular jobs. We're going to have stuff to do in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
That concept of summer is leaving us. This is kind of like the last summer you could sit around.
I'm just gonna stay in school forever.
That's true.
Yeah.
If you want to go to grad school, I mean, you know,
That's true. Well, thank you all for tuning in and being with us moment for moment through this process that we just 4 p.m. today, we didn't know. We didn't know we'd have this beauty.
Oh yeah, we didn't even know until just now that she would look like this.
You're
This
right.
is the completed. But it's been a plan.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you all, and
Thanks for real.
we will we'll see what happens next time. Wait, we're gonna end on a shot with her. Hello, beauty.